Hey everyone! In this special episode, we'll be reviewing the 91st Academy Awards show. This is episode 123 of the Reel-ists podcast. Welcome everyone, welcome to this special episode of the Reel-ists podcast. We're going to be recapping the Oscars, or as some people like to say, the Academy Awards, the 91st Academy Awards. So that's a little bit different, but Donnie, we saw this, so what are your thoughts?
I wanted to say that yesterday I was talking to my sister and I was like, oh yeah, we're getting ready for the Oscars party. And she was like, you guys are having a party for Oscar's birthday?
Yep.
And I was like, no, the Oscars party, the Academy Awards. And I was like, his birthday was in September.
That's funny. I could see that. So, I mean, overall, did you enjoy this awards? Did you feel, what were your thoughts? Let's get that out of the way first. And then we'll go into the winners.
Yes, thank you. I liked it. It was cool. I mean, there was no host this year, which I think a lot of people were just anticipating and seeing how it would flow, how it would go. And I thought it worked well. You have so many it's like you have so many presenters anyway, and so many people that get up on stage and say this or say that or do funny little moments. We had Melissa McCartney and
Ryan Tyree Henry.
Yeah, Ryan Tyree Henry do like a little spoof with the costume when they were presenting the award for costume design. So that was funny. And then we had Maya Rudolph and Tina Fey and Amy Poehler come and do like a funny little banter. So that
would
was
have
cool.
been like an opening kind of monologue.
Yeah. So it's like, I feel like, you get enough of those things that you don't necessarily need a host. And I'm one of those people that I watch the Oscars because I want to see who's going to win the awards. And I really, really am passionate about letting these winners, take time to thank everyone they want to thank and to give them their moment on stage. So, it's just like, I feel like we're burning up time. We don't need to waste time with the host who's going to do all these. No, I'm not done.
We should have allowed him to go on a rant.
I'll plug my mic, I know. But no, but okay, sorry. But to get back on track, I thought it was a good show. I thought it was fun. Ruben pointed out something yesterday. He said that it didn't get too political, which I really appreciated because a lot of award shows, especially since 2016 and on, these shows get really political. So I appreciate that it did not, and that it focused on. Because they criticized Trump. Don't even go there. Taking off my MAGA hat. Shut up. Don't even spread those lies, okay? No, but you know what? Let me just say I liked it. It was a good show. Oscar, what'd you think? Dang.
There's a lot of talk of it's actually a little mix of host and no host, and I will say if the fact that you had no host, so you weren't filling time, and it's still 3 hours long, how are you not trimming that? Like,
I mean, with all the awards.
No, but not even that. But like, there was so many commercial breaks.
Yeah,
there was commercial breaks that were interfering, and I understand that the ABC essentially kind of like made a deal to guarantee like TV spots for these companies. So that's why you saw the same like Google ads, and you saw Walmart because they were guaranteed
Walmart
spots.
Ads.
And so like to me, I was just like, you can deliver this in 2 hours. And I get it, you want to have nice, a mixed variety of presenters, but they did it for some, but just have the same presenters just present like the related categories.
Like when they had John Mulaney and and
Awkwafina.
Awkwafina present like 2 awards.
Yeah.
Like they should do that every time.
I understand
if they can, you know.
They want to get, a variety of presenters, so you can show the mix of those that were in movies or related to a movie somehow. But I feel like they can easily narrow it down if they just kind of allow the person to win the award, go on stage, give their speech, give them the amount of time they want to do their speech. Obviously, nothing past 5 minutes, but give their speech, and then they go back. They are heading backstage.
They don't even give them 5 minutes. They give them a minute.
No, I know.
Like,
but
what?
I'm just saying.
What
like,
do they give them? 60 seconds. I
I
don't know what they give them, but
I would say something like that. Yeah, because you started to feel like once you feel like 30 seconds have passed, then you're just like, any second now.
Then it takes me out of their speech because I'm like, damn, they're gonna start playing that music and they're gonna cut them off at some point.
So I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, give them a little bit more time, and now that they're going backstage, just immediately have the presenters come back on stage, present the next award, and then boom, you have 2 in the span that you probably would take like 1.5, because then they would be wanting to do a musical performance. The musical performance, I'd rather have that be cut out and instead have a little bit more focus on movies. Like, I understand the music is part of the movies, absolutely, but I feel like if anything, they should just extend the when they're presenting the original songs, because those are the performances of the original songs. Mm-hmm. Just allow like a scene to play out rather than like do a live performance.
Well, I mean, I get that. They do allow a lot of scenes though, because they do like all the best pictures, they get a scene, and then anytime an actor they do any acting category, they play scenes. So I guess
bad scenes at that. They were very bad.
Yeah, all of these, seriously, right? We're like
the studio was,
if you just did not see any of these films and you're like, let me watch the Oscars and see who got nominated for what, you would watch all these acting categories and be like, really? I should be up there. I should be getting a nomination. Like,
for reals. It was one of those that I feel, one, that was bad, and
the worst one for me was the Yalitza Aparicio.
With her lying down and just saying,
all she said was, "I'm dead."
I actually like playing dead.
That was it. I'm like, that was the most boring scene of her from that movie. Like,
I get they can't show the intense, part.
Yeah, they can't show like the climax or like.
There's a lot, though.
There was a few that was showing the climax, that it was just like, that was the end of the movie.
Or even Amy Adams, when like, I'm biased here, as we can see, but like when they showed Amy Adams' scene, I'm like, that's the one you show? Like,
yeah, that was
very
bad.
super, super, super subtle. Like, I can't take anything from that little bit.
Right, absolutely. No, I honestly feel like they could fix that, first of all. And I understand the studios might be the ones that are giving
like
it
show
to them.
this scene.
Yeah.
You see?
So, I would assume so. I don't think that was anyone's from the Academy's choice. I feel like that was a studio that was like, this is the clip we're giving you, because they have to get the rights from the studio to present it. Otherwise, the studio would be like, no, you can't show any footage.
Some stupid ass.
But no, I honestly feel like they still can do this in a 2 hour, maybe 30 minutes a stretch. They just need to.
I wouldn't mind. I don't mind a 3-hour show, but it's like just. And I get what you're saying. Like, they guarantee so many commercial spots to all these companies, and that's the biggest. I mean, I don't want to say it's a problem, because I mean they're obviously they do that for a reason, but it's like, that's what I don't like. Like, I wish we could change that.
Yeah.
Like, not be so many commercial breaks or.
Right. Like, and see, I feel like they can do. I mean, not to say this would work. I mean, it would be fun to test it out. But they can do it like a little bit like a sports game, or a little bit like a theatrical performance, where like you have like a halftime, so to speak.
Yeah.
And then at that halftime,
and then do all the commercials and all the.
Well, I was thinking that's when they would do the performances.
Oh,
like a halftime,
like all the performances.
It's like
or maybe they could do like one giant medley.
Yeah, have the artists just come in, do like, because the songs that they were doing wasn't the full length of the song. It was like a clip. It was a snippet of it.
Version of it.
Yeah. So that's what I would feel like would be best, if they just kind of did a different format. I mean, yes, the 3 hours isn't bad, but I feel like it felt longer than it should have been at the same time. And before I was like, oh well, the host has to entertain here and there. But now that I can see that it can work without a host, now they just need to know how to trim it. And removing a category from being presented live is not how you would do that. I feel like all the categories deserve to be presented. All the winners deserve their speech up to 5 minutes. I would say 5 minutes is the max. If you're going over 5 minutes,
I just wonder, like, if it's a minute, maybe a minute 30 at the most now.
I would, yeah.
At least extend it to 3.
The only ones that I would have a problem with is if they weren't necessarily clear on their like speech, like they were kind of just mumbling and saying whatever comes to their minds, like the ones that won for the live short documentary, the period end of sentence. That's where I would be like, okay, no, that wasn't the one. There was another one.
It was the ones that were for costuming.
For costume, yeah, I think it was for costume. It was like the 3 women, and they were like trying to both like each
he
say
was
like
just trying to like read each. Everyone was trying to read a name.
Yeah,
and they were like, "Here, read that."
Yeah, that one I would have been like, put the music. Nope,
awkward,
they're done. Look, like it has to, I mean, I'm okay
I
with.
think you just have to use judgment. Like I think whoever's like the one in no.
That's so sad. Like you're taking too long.
No, but it just like there's an extent of if you're winning and you want to say and you have a speech, then absolutely by means take your speech. Say what you have to say. But there is some that are just kind of just they feel like they had to and I don't know. Some of it I would say I would be okay with judgment. I would say if that looks like they were disorganized and they weren't sure how to thank everyone, I would say that's when you start cueing the music early and stuff. But if someone's really like saying, "Oh, and I just want to remind everyone that if you were young," and like if they're trying to deliver, an emotional speech, don't cut them off. Yeah. Let them say what they have to say.
Let them finish. Yeah.
Because like if you interrupted them, and like there were some people that got interrupted, and you could see that it feels so.
And the
bad.
audience usually they'll go like, "Aw," or sometimes they'll boo, like they've booed before, like
yeah,
and they cut someone off. Like
it just hurts seeing it too. Like they're like talking to the mic.
Like, this is their moment,
and then like the camera's like on a like overhead side, and you just see like it's going dark on their like spotlight.
Yeah, that's really uncomfortable to watch.
Yeah, it is.
So Oscars, y'all need to take that into consideration, or else I'm not going to be watching the Oscars. I'm still going to watch the Oscars. But.
I know, right? So, all right, let's go through these categories and let's discuss if we approve, if we disagree.
Okay.
So we have, we'll start from the bottom to the top.
Hey.
So original song, congratulations to Shallow from Star is Born. I think that one was just an overall.
I think everyone knew that was going to win.
I mean, if anything, we had like a backup of who should win if it's not Shallows, but I think it was like unanimous that Shallows was going to win.
Yeah.
So that one was fair. Original score going to Black Panther. Mm-hmm. That was a surprise to some.
Speaking of Black Panther, Marvel got 3 Oscars last night.
Can you just jump in the gun over here?
Oh.
But yes.
Try to guess what other 2 they won.
Time is ticking. So yes, that is a good way to go in because actually I realized I don't have the other ones on the list. So good timing. Yeah, that was actually pretty awesome.
That's cool.
It's the first time Marvel has won an Academy Award and it won 3. So they didn't win just one. They didn't win just 2. They won 3.
After 11 years.
Yeah.
They finally for one movie too. I mean, how impressive.
Yeah.
Incredible.
I mean, they didn't win. It didn't get nominated for the acting categories, but who knows? Maybe if it was, maybe
this will open up the avenue for them to be able to.
That's what the talk is, that it will. And people said that similar to when the Dark Knight won. Well, not the Dark Knight one, when it got nominated for Heath Ledger, but it didn't get nominated for Best Picture. They were just like, oh, now that people are saying it's a controversy, maybe we're going to add it, and they didn't. And even Avengers didn't win visual effects, which was one of them on the list. Like, so there's still some kind of like we're not giving it to it. I think the Academy Awards for this case we're respecting more of the film and what it did, rather than this was a comic book superhero movie.
They weren't focusing on the genre of comic book films. They were focusing specifically on Black Panther because it was such a triumphant film.
Right.
For so many different reasons.
Yeah, so I think that's what it was. I don't think it was because it was a comic book movie. Because I don't think every comic book is going to have that kind of level of success in the sense that, you know, not every comic book that comes out moving forward is going to have, you know, that cultural impact. You know, it's a lot of it's still going to go back to what it always is, a blockbuster fun movie.
Yep.
So I don't see it happening. I don't see comic book movies getting nominated for the big ones. Yeah, I think it's still going to stay on par with visual effects.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't think it's
hair and
gonna.
makeup,
Yeah, it'll get all those awards, but it's probably not gonna get. I mean, best picture I can see if it's that good of a film, but I mean, in terms of in terms of like the acting categories, probably not, probably never.
Right.
I'll never say never, but I don't see it happening.
Yeah, unless it's one of like a satire poking fun at comic books like Birdman. Birdman was kind of a little bit, not too much, but just a little bit.
It can't be like so mainstream that it's like it has to be like a little out of the box.
Right, exactly. So we'll see. But yeah, no, congrats to Marvel on that one. Black Panther is rightfully deserved, if anything more. But let's go on to the next one.
I'm sorry, I just want to quickly point out, because we were talking about this, we didn't even think Ryan Coogler was at the awards, but like they were not showing him.
Oh yeah.
And they kept, all the people that were winning for Black Panther kept thanking him. And we were like, he must not be there. But then you were like, no, they keep looking at him and they weren't showing him. What was that about?
Right.
Like,
and they showed, and the thing is, they showed him when it was the original score's girlfriend or wife. I'm not sure what the relationship was, what he was with, whoever he brought. Mm-hmm. Like when they showed her, he was next to her. So that's how they showed Ryan Coogler. But everything else, they weren't showing him. Yeah.
I was like, is he wearing something offensive? And he was just wearing like an African print something. But I mean,
yeah, it wasn't.
I'm like, why would they not show him?
He did that to the carpet, and I feel like if he's done it on other like events, that at that point, if it was a problem, you would have heard it like trending on Twitter or something. There would have been an outcry of it. But I don't know. Excellent question. So cinematography did go to Roma, which I think was another one that everyone thought was going to win.
Yes.
To know like the details that they did, like they intentionally like did stuff to like clothing and set pieces just to give the better contrast. I thought that was actually pretty cool to hear. Mm-hmm. Yes, so that was awesome. So visual effects went to First Man, which was surprising. I think that was one of the surprises for the Academy Awards, because I think everyone was set on every other movie but First Man.
I did not.
Some people had Ready Player One. Some people had Infinity War. Some people.
I thought they were gonna give it to Ready Player One.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm glad First Man got something. I don't want to say they're undeserving of it. I mean,
no, and the thing is, like it did it well. Like I think when we think of visual effects, we might naturally resort to like what had the most or what had the seamless, you know, CGI, live action blends and all that stuff. But yeah, no, First Man delivered a classical special effects where you kind of really felt that you were like watching the first landing of the moon and all that. So
yeah, I was happy with it.
Yeah,
I was content with it.
Animated feature did go to Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which was another classic. And in fact, it came out on digital this week. So if you haven't checked it out, you can check it out on iTunes, Google Play.
Wow.
Just saying.
We're sponsored by them. I will say I'm so glad about that one. I wanted them to get it. I was hoping they weren't going to give it to Incredibles 2.
Yeah, or Ralph Breaks the Internet.
Or Ralph Breaks the Internet. But I think it was well deserved. Such a good film. Like, so crazy good.
Yeah, I agree. No, that definitely was one that I think, again, was very similar to Shallows, where it was expected and it was okay. Like, that was going to be the winner. And then adapted screenplay did go to Black Klansman. So that was Spike Lee's first Oscar win. So that was a big moment, and he took advantage of that.
Yeah, he did.
I mean, the fact that it was him and others that were, you know, credited for writing it, but he was the one that was like, nope, I'm taking the spotlight. I got something to say.
It's insane. He's made so many films and been a part of so many projects that this was his first win.
And there's many people that are similar situations.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That we will get to later.
Right. So original screenplay did go to Green Book,
Woo-woo.
which I'm happy. That was my pick.
Yep, loved it.
Actor in a supporting role. Oh, looks like we're getting a trend now all of a sudden. Mahershala Ali for Green Book.
Green Book. Very happy for him. Very happy that he won. Well deserved.
People were saying Richard E. Grant was going to be the winner, and out of respect for like his time that he's done for movies and all that he's contributed.
I mean, but this isn't like the How Long You've Been Acting Awards. This is the Academy.
Okay.
No, we don't know. We haven't seen that movie, so I can't speak on his performance. I don't know.
Ruben has.
Did you?
Which one?
Can You Ever Forgive Me?
Yes.
Ruben said.
Have you seen any other films with that actor? Richard Grant, is that his name?
Richard E.
Richard E. Grant? Like that you can compare?
No.
Okay.
But he did like his performance, so.
He has been around. Yeah.
Yeah, he's been around for a
I
while.
wouldn't have been surprised. I wouldn't have been surprised if he would have won.
Okay.
Yeah. He did a good job compared to those other people. Wait, who won again?
Mahershala Ali.
Okay, no, he did deserve to win.
Okay.
I mean, to compare to some, what's his name, Sam Elliott?
Sam Elliott, Adam Driver.
That it would have been
Sam Rockwell.
A lot of Sams.
Right. So, actress in a supporting role, Regina King for If Beale Street Could Talk.
Woo! Okay, let me say this. So when we first saw that movie and she was getting a lot of recognition for this role, and I was like, she was cool, but like, I don't get it. I get it a little now that they put it into, what's that word? Perspective, when they were saying like she was the heart of the film and like that her scenes were very, nurture, like kind of it came from an emotional nurturing place, and I think that it was just like, I don't think necessarily she had the most transformative role, like she was so unlike herself, but I think that she had the most moving role out of all of those performances. Like emotionally, her character moved us in the ways that the other ones didn't. Like, for instance, Amy Adams and Vice, I thought that was a good transformative role. I don't know who other nominees were. Can you refresh my memory?
No, you have to remember. Just kidding. We had Marina de Tavina for Roma, Emma Stone, and Rachel Weisz.
Emma Stone, Rachel Weisz, they were good. They were transformative. They didn't move me emotionally as much as Regina King did. The girl from Roma, I can't say her name, but she did really great too. And I wouldn't have been mad if she won. Obviously, I wanted Amy Adams to win because she's my favorite actress, but I would rather her not win for this role. I'd rather her like do something different and win for like best actress.
So see you next year, Amy. Is that
yes? Next year, Amy. 2020, the year of Amy Adams.
Right.
But I was happy with
the campaign now.
I was happy with Regina King winning. She's been acting for so long and is
since she was 14.
Crazy.
I don't know how she is now, but since she was 14, because they said that during the red carpet. But no, yeah, I agree. I'm happy for her on that one. And then actor in a leading role went to Rami Malek. So
we all knew that was gonna happen.
That was the expected one.
Again, I don't think he gave the most transformative role. I think Christian Bale, if you're just going off the transformation and not being like yourself and not looking like yourself and embodying another human, Christian Bale should have gotten it. But I think Bohemian Rhapsody was such a big film, and he was already getting so much just like a praise and acclaim for this role, so I knew he was going to get it. So it is what it is.
Expected, yeah. So there were many on this list that were expected but satisfying to see come through. Like it wasn't like in the it's gonna win and it's not deserving of it kind of situation. It was like I can see why and I'm okay with it.
Yeah.
So, two more. Director went to Alfonso Cuarón for Roma, and Best Picture went to Green Book.
You just get Best Actress.
Oh, just kidding. I did. And then actress in a leading role went to Olivia Colman.
I think that was one of the bigger.
That was a surprise.
Surprises.
That was one of the surprises.
I think we all thought. We thought Glenn Close was going to win,
which is very unfortunate because her streak is going to continue. It might, unless she doesn't get nominated again. But seven is the record.
Amy's right behind her with 6.
Just
throwing that out there. They both should win next year.
I don't know what their schedule is for movies, but
right.
I
was glad Olivia Colman won. I thought that was a well-deserved win.
I loved her speech. I think her speech was my favorite out of everyone.
Very genuine.
Very genuine. I loved that. I loved that she went up there and she kind of was just really thinking from the top of her head, and she made some unintentional jokes, like the one where she said to like her kids, "I hope they're watching or not."
Yeah.
Like there was that one when she said that she's probably not going to do this. Like
She'll never be up there again.
Yeah, she'll never be up there.
All of the things you're saying are just naturally funny. Like,
yeah,
they were just everyone was laughing. It was really.
She was like, "Glenn Coase, you're my idol," but
sorry it had to happen. Sorry it happened this way. I didn't want it to happen this way.
Yeah, so there was a
very
lot
sincere. She gave one of the better speeches, if not like the best speech of the night.
Yeah, I liked it. I'm not a fan. I said this earlier. I don't think it was on the podcast, but I've said it before, where I don't like pulling out the paper.
Yeah,
I don't like.
You did say that.
I don't like the scripted thank you.
Remember.
I feel like.
So the director of Green Book, when he pulls out his paper, you didn't like that.
I'm not a fan of it. I want it to be genuine, and I know you.
Or what about the woman who pulled out her phone, who won for?
And she was struggling to find it. She said, "I don't know where it's on my phone."
I know. I'm like, you're eating up the clock right now, just trying to look for it.
Right. Like that one was a little bit more like genuine in the fact that she didn't really think she might have won, so she like had it, but it was kind of more of like, oh snap, I did win. I did have something. But no, I honestly think it's much better when it comes from what your heart has to say at that moment, rather than let me make sure I say thank you to everyone I need to. Yeah. As great as it is to hear your, if you're involved with that person, to hear your name mentioned, as awesome it would be to hear, that's not, that's not the only time the person's going to thank you. They're going to thank you many times, whenever you see them, or the first time you see them after the award. So you'll get that personal love for, contributing, but I just don't, I'm not a fan of it.
No, I get it. I'm not either. I mean, I think it's a little distracting, but I know it's so hard to go up there and just, you always plan what you're going to say, but to be up there in front, like to be on a live like telecast and to be in front of all those people, it's like, I'm sure you just get shell shocked and you're like, and you want to, like, you're so afraid of forgetting to thank someone, and that's like where your focus goes. I don't like the speeches where they're just thanking people, like that's it. Like I need a little like
message,
poetry, a little message in the thank you speech.
Absolutely,
just a little bit. It doesn't have to be a whole like Matthew McConaughey whole spiel, but like just give me something like.
Some use it for a political stand. Some use it to deliver that political.
I don't like that either.
We didn't get that.
I like the inspiration.
We got it from Spike Lee,
like,
but
when they're like, and let me leave you with this, and then they give us like just a something motivational or like.
Lady Gaga. She was motivational. Yes. Did you like hers?
She really was about to say there could be 100 people.
I was like, she better not say it. She better not say it.
She switched it up a little bit.
Yes. It was like it was on the tip of her tongue, and she was like, "Wait, I can't say that. Let me think of something else." Oh, I love her.
But yeah. No.
Okay, so sorry. Best director.
Best director, Alfonso Cuarón, and then Green Book for Best Picture. So.
So happy with both.
Green Picture, though, apparently is only being talked about because Spike Lee decided to be dramatic. Did you guys hear about that?
Yeah, I heard he tried to storm out when he heard the win. And then did you guys see what he said at the post interview?
It was a bad ref call or something like that.
He said that, and then they said, so you seemed a little upset about Green Book winning Best Picture, blah blah blah. Any thoughts on that? And then he was like, "Let me take another sip." And he had a drink in his hand. Let me take another sip. And then he said, "Next question."
Wow.
So he was not happy. I guess he really felt that Black Klansman should have won.
I don't know if it was that, because there people are saying like it was whitewashing like the race issue and painting the picture on.
I can totally see it being that being the issue, and I have seen that, and that's the thing I was telling you about yesterday, that little skit comedy thing that those two people did.
Yeah. And
it was like a film to make white people feel better about the fact that they like had racism and slavery for all these years. Which I didn't think, that never crossed my mind when I was watching the film. I could see
why, because they're saying that one person stood up against it? Is that what they're...
I guess because they're just making Tony Lip kind of seem like he was the hero. He was the hero who, like, stood up to it, and I guess...
Even though it was their problem that they started.
Right.
Yeah, and I think that's what people are saying. It's like, okay, I mean,
But
I
Hollywood,
get that, but Green Book was a beautiful film.
Hollywood loves the happily ever afters, and Black Klansman did not end in a happily ever after.
Yeah.
It ended in a very like woke.
Yeah, for
Like,
real. No, you're absolutely right. I mean, they're on the total opposite ends of the spectrum, both addressing race,
yeah.
and Green Book was pretty Disney about it, and
Okay.
and Black Klansman was pretty like CNN about it.
Yeah. Very interesting spectrum.
I mean,
you have.
it was.
Is you a Disney spectrum or is you a CNN spectrum?
It doesn't have to be CNN. It doesn't have to be. I was just thinking of like two opposite things.
Fake news spectrum. But no, yeah. So I'm happy with it. I'm content with Green Book winning because I mean, viewing it as a movie, not viewing it as which one gave you the strong message, which one was being truth to the material. Because I know that there was also the talk of Don Shirley never giving approval for this movie to being made, and they only made it after he passed away. So like, there's a lot of kind of things.
I had heard
surrounding it.
that he said you can make this movie, but you have to wait until after I'm gone, because
Right.
he didn't want people knowing about his sexuality while he was still alive.
I don't know. If
That's what I thought Mahershala Ali said.
Right. I could see it as that. I took it as like over my dead body kind of like reaction, but maybe it was. So yeah, so I'm content with it. I feel like as a movie, it's a rightfully so. I don't think. I mean, I still feel like if Black Klansman would have won, it would have been a different talk that people would have had. It would have had more of like, oh, Hollywood's changing. Hollywood is recognizing,
Yeah,
all that kind of social.
it would have been a political move, I think,
Yeah.
for them to have awarded Black Klansman that. Maybe a good political move on their part.
Right.
But see, and that's what's frustrating about these award shows sometimes. It's like we're not sticking to who was the best, what was the best. You have all these other factors that play into it. So it's like kind of sucks sometimes,
It does.
Not saying that Black Klansman, I would have been happy with Black Klansman winning it too, because I thought that was a really great film. And
then there was the talk that Roma wasn't gonna win because the Hollywood does not want to give Netflix bragging rights that you don't have to go see a movie in theaters anymore. You can just see it at your home at the convenience of your couch.
Right.
So they're just like
should Roma have really won? Did Roma really win? But they're like, we're not going to give it to Roma.
Right, exactly.
We're not doing that. Let's give it to Green Book. We don't know.
Right, and that's a very interesting topic because it's very true though. Like if Hollywood is supporting Netflix movies, then that's where everyone's gonna go to. Like Amazon,
and then it's gonna open. Yeah, I was gonna say it's gonna open the avenue for like Hulu and Amazon.
The
and
Academy,
all these other
the
streaming
Academy
services.
Awards and the Emmys are just gonna become one big Grammys or wait, that's already taken. Grammys, I don't know, but.
I was trying to think of a name too, but yeah, we get what you're saying.
Academies. I don't know, but yeah, that's a very tough thing to be like that is a Hollywood film, and it's like no, that's a digital streaming film, which is not bad. It's becoming a new category, and it's starting to get respect in a way that.
I mean, it wasn't made for Netflix though, right? So it's.
No, it was made for Netflix.
Was it?
Yeah.
Because wasn't it?
But
Mexico was a theatrical release.
The distribution.
Well, they put it in. They had it played in theaters so that they could qualify for it.
Right. Netflix bought the distribution rights for it. So I mean, no, Netflix didn't make it in the sense that Netflix paid for the production of it.
It was a Mexican movie, and when it came here, Netflix
Right.
distributed it.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's not technically like in a Netflix original movie.
Right.
Like To All the Boys and whatever the other ones are.
Yeah, it's not
The kissing booth.
Yeah, it's not like a booth.
right. It's not like that. No. So.
See, I feel like that shouldn't be a factor. It's
But
like
That's the world we live in.
Yeah.
It is.
It is. But yeah, I mean, streaming movies.
sucks, yeah.
The argument would be streaming movies would have been. It could be as good as a movie theater. So at that point.
So then why do we have to pay? Why do we have to go leave our home and go pay for a $16 movie ticket when we can sit at home in the comfort of our own home and watch this movie?
Or wait a few months until it comes digital.
Yeah.
Like, so that's why things are starting to shift. And Hollywood still has,
It's too much, man.
And I mean, also, even the actors that you see on movies have starring roles in TV shows now. Like, it's starting to really blend where TV and movies don't have that distinguished, oh, you're a TV actor.
Right.
You're never going to be in a movie. So, like, Mahershala Ali's season 3 of True Detective. Olivia Colman is now going to be in The Queen in the upcoming season. Rami Malek is doing Mr. Robot final season. So, like, they're...
Yeah. It's really blending.
Yeah. So there is no TV actor, movie actor soon.
And some of the highest paid actors are in television.
Right, like The Big Bang Theory and Modern Family, yeah.
Grey's Anatomy.
Don't
try to leave them out. Don't try to disrespect Grey's Anatomy.
This is a
you
movie
knew damn
topic.
well I was talking about Ellen Pompeo when I said that, and you made the choice to not say Grey's Anatomy.
Clearly, New Amsterdam is better than, according to that one person that
said it's better than Grey's.
Which, yeah, that was actually pretty funny when they did the commercial and you had to leave the room.
Yeah, I did. I didn't know what they were going to show. They're like, longest running show. What'd they say? Longest running?
They kept, yeah. But then, like, had, like, in a dramatic way.
But
like,
I heard them saying things from, like, season 1 and, like, some of the lines, some of the dialogue
so
was
you
from,
still
like...
were listening.
Oh, yeah. I didn't want to see it.
What if they said, everyone's dead or something? It would have been like, what? Unless it would encourage you to watch it, like, faster. Who knows? But, yes, so, I mean, that's pretty much the rundown of the Academy Awards. I think watching it was entertaining. Obviously, there's many things you can like talk about from the Oscars. So, on to the 92nd. Well, actually, let's watch the movies for this year, and then on to the 92nd. Start your votes now for your consideration.
I'm excited. I always get excited. This is always the time where I kind of dream about what films are going to come out this year, and like some of them I know some films I know are coming out, but then there's like, you know, so many films come out in a year, so it's like I just always think about the next year at the Academy Awards. I'm like, I wonder what films we're going to be talking about in a year, and like what films are going to be nominated and who's going to be nominated. It's just like anything's possible.
Speaking of which, I did like the opening after Queen and Adam performed. I did like the little highlight reel of 2018 movies.
Yeah, that was really nice. And they did all movies, not just films that were nominated. So I really appreciated that. And I think they should keep doing that.
Yeah.
And, you know,
I think we should watch it again to see how many we...
Because I was like... Because there were a lot of...
There was a lot. We saw, yeah.
Or there was at one point I was like, they better show a clip from this movie. It was just a random movie. And they did.
I was saying Aquaman. I was like, they need to show Aquaman.
But they hit them all. I think they hit them all for the most part. And that was really nice.
Yeah, it was.
And obviously, the sadder part, but I always like their in memoriams.
Oh, man. It always hits you.
And there's always people that I forget. Not that I like forget about him, but it's like, oh yeah,
Burt Reynolds was
the one I that slipped my mind. And I was like, oh.
It was nice that had Stan Lee on there.
Yeah.
They labeled him as a executive producer.
There was one year where somebody big died. I can't remember who, and they didn't have them in the memoriam. And I was like, and I remember it was it was like out like backlash.
Right. But was it because of the timing of his death that it wasn't ready for it? Was like a little too late for that?
I don't remember. It might have been. I'm trying to remember who it was.
Because I remember there was someone that passed away like in January, and it didn't make the thing. But that was because they'd
already done it.
Yeah.
I'm like,
and
you
then
can't just squeeze it in?
I mean, do you count it as like who died between the Oscar telecast from like the one year to the next year, or do you do it from January to December? I don't know what they're.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's true.
Right. We'll see. I don't know who we'll see because no one died, but not that way. But yes. So thank you everyone for tuning into this special episode. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully it's going to start some conversations of your own. Maybe you want to meet someone and be like, "Did you see the Oscars? Let's talk about this." Conversation starter, icebreaker. You're welcome. But yes, if you can, follow us on social media at Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Team Reel-ists. That's Team REELISTS, no dash. And we also highly encourage everyone to please rate us on iTunes. You can give us just 5 stars or whatever many stars you believe we deserve. If you'd like to leave a comment and feedback, we'd greatly appreciate it, just so we can know what we can work on, what we should do more of, what special guests we should have. I'm just kidding. We don't have like that kind of star power. But yes, we'd love to hear all your feedbacks, and you could also leave comments on YouTube as well if you like a particular episode and you wanted to leave some feedback. That's a great place as well. So thank everyone for tuning to this episode. Hopefully you enjoyed it. But until next time.